Hi there and welcome to the first video in my new channel. This is so exciting. Today I'm asking two questions. Can you get good quality video from the original Osmo Action Camera straight out of the box? And number two, is it even worth buying a 6-year-old camera in 2025? Now the answer to the first question is yes, you can to an extent, and we'll go into more detail during the video. The other question will be answered as we go through this video, because we're going to show you how we got on with only the default settings, as I've just said, and what quality footage we got from it in various different scenarios. And on top of that, we only gave ourselves 1 hour to test it, which is why this channel is called the 60-minute gadgets. Not because we take 60 minutes to talk about it, or you have to watch this for 60 minutes, because we test it for only 60 minutes. Now, before I show you how we got on, let's have a quicker look at the camera. And to do that, I'm going to put on my glasses, my gadgety glasses. Now, basically, there are just the 3 buttons: the power button, the record button, or shutter if you want to take a photo, and what they call the quick switch button. It changes the view from the rear screen to the front and vice versa. You can also use it to change the shooting mode to photo or video, etc. The battery compartment's here, and the micro SD card goes in here. So that seems simple enough. It's basically point and shoot as far as we're concerned. Now the menu's accessed by the rear screen, but we're not worried about that in this video. Anyway, enough of the small talk. You want to see how we got on with this. So I keep holding it upside down. So I need to pop it on the tripod. And so the first stop, the garden. Now I started this channel because there's plenty of videos out there telling us how to get the best from these cameras, gadgets, etc., etc. But I want to see what's possible straight out of the box with the default settings, because I think that's really important, don't you? I'm just going to pop it onto the tripod. Because not everybody wants to spend time searching for the best settings with a gadget that really should just work straight out of the box. I'm going to say that a lot. I make no apologies for it. So this really is the Play Now, Learn Later channel. So talking of which, I think it's time to get started and start the clock, because the test starts now. Okay, I'm out here in the garden with the Osmo Action, and for the last 10 minutes or so, I've been downloading the DJI Mimo app. Now that's really worth doing, because one, it gives me the settings and I can see myself and I can make sure I'm in the right place. And secondly, it also checks firmware update as soon as you connect it. So I'm now all up to date because it did it automatically. Now, the one thing I notice when I look at the settings that seems a bit odd is that there's 30 frames a second by default to a 1/40 shutter speed. And as far as I understand it, the shutter speed should be at least twice the frame rate. So I may have to change that later. Now, the reason I've chosen this odd position is because there's bright sunshine behind me and bright light behind me, and I'm in the shadow, is because I want to test how it reacts to difficult lighting. Now, I'm going to take you for a walk around the garden in a minute, showing sun behind me, sun in front of me, and various other things. But I thought this would be a good start. Okay, I'm now walking around my selfie stick because I want to actually see how the camera deals with shadows and sunshine that's going behind the cloud. Never mind. Okay. How does it deal with it if my back's to bright sunshine? I can't really see the screen, so it's hard to tell. Now I'm wearing a DJI mic too, and hopefully it's recording, so I can do a comparison between that and the onboard mic of the camera. Anyway, the lighting's fine at the moment, but by the end of the hour, it will be getting a little bit darker. In fact, it'll be dark by the time my hour's up. So that'll be really interesting to see, to do a test in low light, won't it? So, now, while I'm wandering around with you, I might as well tell you that as a matter of interest, the Osmo camera actually appeared in early 2019. And about 6 months later, the GoPro 8 Hero appeared. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, actually, I got the Hero 8 and didn't get on with it in the slightest, because I found the menu system really, really fiddly for a start. And I wasn't that impressed with the quality that I got, but I was using DSLR cameras at the time. But it just didn't give me the quality I was used to. So I thought I'd get hold of this Osmo Action Camera that was their first ever try, because I thought it would be really interesting to see how it compares, because I think they came running out of the traps, to be honest with you. I think they started at a sprint, because we all know that GoPro invented the action camera and then they led it from the start, to be honest with you. But when DJI turned up, they certainly took over, didn't they? So one part of this will compare it, but only because the two cameras, because actually it's the underwater section and I only wanted to do that once, so I did it with both cameras, but you'll see that later on. So anyway, so this is what it's like in the sun and in the shadow. I'll go deeper into the shadow here, see how it reacts. And well, the sun's been out and now it's gone back in again. But it'll be really, really interesting to see this footage. Can't wait.
Okay, I've just thought you might like to know that I was trying to download the last videos from from the camera, and I was using my MacBook Pro, and I've discovered actually the MacBook Pro doesn't actually recognize the camera as a hard drive, so I can't actually download it if it doesn't recognize it. Now, apparently, I looked it up on Google, and the problem is with the M1 chip. Apparently, it doesn't recognize the cameras with the MacBook. So, very strange. I just thought I'd let you know. So, I've had to use one of these little things where you put the little memory card inside it, but you have to take out the camera first. A little bit frustrating. Just adds another job, doesn't it? Anyway, I can't wait to see the footage that I've now downloaded, so I'm going to love you and leave you, and next time you'll see me, I'm looking at another test.
Now, we thought we'd do a driving one because all the videos do driving ones, so this is ours. I'm recording with the DJI mic as well as the camera, so it'll be interesting to see how the two compare. Andrew's holding on to the selfie stick for dear life. I can see it wobbling around, so it'll be really interesting to see if stabilizing is switched on the camera by default. If it's not, this is going to be a very, very rocky video. I guess we'll soon find out when I download it. Now, don't forget, I want to know how it performs straight out of the box. I don't want to make any adjustments to the camera, so if stabilizing isn't on, it isn't on. There's already loads and loads of videos out there telling me and telling us how we can adjust and get into the menus and make lots of changes, but that's not what this video is about. This video is for those people who just want to buy the camera and use it straight out of the box, as I keep saying. Now, I'm a photographer by trade, and so not making adjustments actually really hurts. It feels really, really odd. but I think it's really useful for this video. I haven't seen any videos that do this sort of thing, just the default settings. And I think, to be quite honest, they should just work out straight out of the box, shouldn't they? Any of these gadgets. Anyway, we'll see what it looks like. Okay, Andrew's now holding the selfie stick out of the window. I'm not too sure why we did this test, but it seemed like a really good idea at the time. It kind of just came to us. We hadn't planned for it at all. So we haven't actually got any cover on the microphone at all. So it's probably going to be quite noisy. But it's worth doing. Okay, this next test is all about water, and these are supposed to be waterproof. So I'm going to dunk them in the water and see how they record. I want to see what they're like underwater. It's a bit murky, but we'll get the idea, won't we? If this goes wrong, the next part of the video is going to be extremely short. That's the low light section, but cross fingers, you've got to trust technology, haven't you? It's all about trusting technology. So they're both recording. Both recording. Good luck, guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, they still look like they're recording to me. Not too many bubbles, which is encouraging. Okay. There won't be a lot to see, so to be quite honest, that's probably it. Okay. Yes, they're still both recording. Okay. Hi guys, good to see you. Okay, on with the next video. Okay, now we're recording. Okay, the sun has just gone down. Don't know whether you can see it behind me, but this is basically sunset, and this is relatively low light, although I can see in the screen actually it certainly doesn't look like it. So what am I thinking? On the screen it actually looks really good. So to be quite honest with you, I'm quite impressed with this in this low light. Mind you, I haven't seen it, the video really on the screen yet, have I? It's winter time, it's about 4 o'clock, if that puts any perspective on it. And I think this is quite a successful test. Okay, this really is the final test this time, and with 1 minute 51 seconds to go, let me tell you that this is, imagine it's indoors, there's a party, it's a family get together, there's one single light in a dimly lit room. This is what we're doing. Now, in those parties, you can normally find one, shall we say, boring person who's got loads of trivial things to tell you. Well, on this occasion, that person is going to be me, because I want to tell you a little bit about this camera, the Osmo Action Original. Okay, it's got a 12 megabyte sensor and can record video up to 4K at 60 frames a second. It's got a 1300 milliamps per hour's battery, and throughout this video I kept topping up the battery. But I will do a test from full to shutdown in a minute, and then I'll let you know in the conclusion what the outcome was. Now, in the meantime, let me tell you a little bit more about the camera. It's 125 grams, which is pretty light. It's very easy to carry around. You barely notice it, even on the end of a selfie stick, to be quite honest. I'm hoping it's doing a fairly good job in here because the front screen's gone down, so I don't know what it's like. I'm hoping it's okay. And see you for the conclusion, because now There's 20 seconds to go to the end of this video. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. And all I need to do is to look at the footage, come to a conclusion, and let you know more about it. Anyway, yep, that's the end of the hour. See you in a bit. So now we've seen the videos, the only thing left to do is to give you my final thoughts. And I'm going to do that with some help of some notes I made while we were using the camera. Now, some of our observations may be resolved, of course, by adjusting the settings in the menu. But as I keep saying in this video, that's not what this video is all about. So let's start with battery life. Now, I tested the battery from full to shutdown 3 times while the camera was recording, and it ran from between 1 hour 28 minutes down to 1 hour 18. The battery charges in about an hour and a half, which I think is quite good. Now, next, the Osmo 2 most used buttons, power and record, are really conveniently positioned on top of the camera. In fact, all 3 buttons are very user friendly, and they share that familiar click that lets you know they've engaged. I've always found the GoPro power button to be a little bit vague in that respect. Just like the GoPro though, when the cameras are switched off, pressing the record button gets you videoing almost immediately, which is really, really useful. Now, colour rendition can be a little bit bland compared to the GoPro 8, but it's not really a problem. This footage was shot during the low light outside section, and although the GoPro was possibly nearer the warm sunset light, the DJI is somehow more natural. The camera dealt pretty well with both light and shadow, better than the Sony ZV-1 that I was using, but I kept that footage as a comparison, to be absolutely honest. Remember the one that was sunshine and dark? It was awful. Now, sound quality, I was really impressed with the sound quality from the onboard mic. It was clear and natural. I don't normally use any cameras inbuilt mics, and I usually opt for using a wireless mic or a lavalier or this, but the one on the Osmo Action is really good. Digital stability, the setting seems to be activated by default, which is great. It worked incredibly well when Andrew was trying to keep the camera and the selfie stick as stable as possible as we bounced into the myriad of potholes that inhabit the lanes around here. Now, how it dealt with low light was interesting. Outside, as the sun disappeared behind the hill, the footage looked bright and almost sunny. It was actually far darker than it looked on camera. Inside, the result is noisier, and to be honest, I felt that the Osmo Action would have really struggled if the light bulb that I was using in the sitting room hadn't been a daylight model. It would have been even more orange. Now, finally, at the start of this video, I asked 2 questions, and I can now confidently answer them. So number 1, can you get good quality video from the original Osmo Action camera straight out of the box? Absolutely yes. It works incredibly well. I mean, at the time of release, the camera cost $3,029 or £279, and I only paid $134 for it. So I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's quite a good bargain. Number 2, is it worth buying a 6-year-old camera in 2025? Well, for the money I've just mentioned, yes, though I wouldn't use it for anything important. For instance, could I use it to record my videos? Well, I'm recording it now, so we'll soon find out. In good lighting, yes, but if it's your daughter's wedding or your mother's 80th birthday, get a newer model or hire a professional. Don't be stingy and only spend £100 odd on a 6-year-old camera. Now, I'm aware that I only use the camera with its default settings, poor little thing, but it's my video, my rules. Oh, and by the way, if you do venture into the menu, it's a lot more user-friendly than the GoPro 8 that I struggled with when I first got it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this channel, then please subscribe, even though it's new. I will be putting something out soon, and thank you for joining me. And if you liked it, don't forget to like it down below. Thanks a lot. Take care.